Hello, this is Anviti, and welcome to the news with NDTV. It's Thursday, August 14th, and coming up in today's episode, Supreme Court cancels actor Darshan's bail in murder case as local authorities rush to comply with order. Supreme Court reserves order in stray dog case while admonishing MCD for not doing their duty. Center to submit response to Supreme Court on Jammu and Kashmir Statehood issue, and three dead while several injured in Pakistan Independence Day celebrations. In a major setback for popular Kannada actor Darshan Thogudeep, the Supreme Court has cancelled his bail in the chilling murder of 33-year-old fan Renuka Swamy, who was kidnapped, assaulted, and allegedly killed by the actor along with other fans. A bench of Justice J.B. Pardiwala, who is set to be the next Chief Justice, and Justice R. Mahadevan passed the order, setting aside an earlier Karnataka High Court ruling. The bench also raised questions on the discretion applied by the High Court in granting bail to Darshan. Quote, "We considered the grant of bail as well as cancellation, and it is evident that the High Court order reflects mechanical exercise of power. The grant of bail will impact the trial and the witnesses can be influenced," unquote, observed Justice Mahadevan. Praising him for penning down the order, Justice Pardiwala remarked during the hearing, and I'm quoting, "J. Mahadevan has pronounced a very erudite judgment. It is ineffable. It conveys a message that however big the accused may be, he or she may not be above the law." Justice Mahadevan also reiterated that the High Court's bail decision was a perverse exercise of judicial power. The background of this case is nothing but appalling. Renuka Swamy was allegedly sending obscene, nude, and offensive messages to Pavitra Gowda, who was alleged to be in a relationship with actor Darshan, despite him being married, because of because he thought the actor was ruining the married life of his idol. Renuka Swamy was abducted by Raghu, who is an associate of Darshan, when he was held captive in the shed where he was beaten to death. According to some reports, Darshan allegedly beat the victim with a belt and gave him electric shocks. The autopsy report says Renuka Swamy died due to shock hemorrhage as a result of multiple blunt injuries. Coming back to the court, a warning against VIP treatment being given to Darshan in custody is also to be followed. The actor was earlier filmed receiving special treatment in the Bengaluru jail. A photo showed him relaxing in a lawn inside the prison, probably sitting on a chair with a cup of coffee, holding a cigarette. That sparked massive controversy on social media. Quote, "The day we come to know that the accused persons are being provided five-star treatment, the first step would be to place all the superintendent on suspension along with other officials," warned Justice Pardiwala. Justice Mahadevan also reiterated that the High Court's bail decision, which was perverse exercise of judicial power, Renu Goswami's father, Kashinath Shivan Gaudaru, welcomed the Supreme Court order and said it has reinforced his faith in the judiciary. Quote, "When he got bail from the High Court, we were stressed, but the government appealed to the Supreme Court, and today that bail has been cancelled. The Supreme Court has sent a strong message that no criminal can escape the clutches of law. Whoever has done wrong should be punished as per law," added Renu Goswami's wife. To stray or not to stray, that is the question, as the stray dog debate played out in the Supreme Court yet again, this time in front of a larger bench. Hearing petitions challenging the Supreme Court order to round up all the stray dogs in Delhi within 8 weeks and move them to shelter homes. Another bench of the top court today asked why authorities in several areas started picking up the animals even before the order became public. The court also came down heavily on the authorities of Delhi Municipal Community of the MCD for not implementing guidelines for animal control, leading to the situation. The bench of Justice Vikram Nath, Justice Sandeep Mehta, and Justice N.V. Acharya heard the matter this morning after the August 11th order of the two-judge bench of Justice J.V. Pardiwala and Justice R. Mahadevan sparked a massive row, with animal lovers hitting the streets to protest the order to remove all strays from residential neighborhoods, claiming that the community dogs belong to the community. Appearing for the Delhi government, Solicitor General of India Tushar Mehta pointed to stray dogs attacking children, leading to injuries and even rabies death. Quote, children are dying. Sterilization does not stop rabies, he said. Mr. Mehta argued that no one hates animals. Quote, there are four poisonous species among 100. We don't keep them at home. Dogs do not have to be killed, they just have to be separated. He said, citing government data of 37 lakh dog bites cases last year. Parents cannot send their children out to play. Young girls are mutilated, he argued. The solution, Mr. Mehta said, is not in the rules. The court has to intervene. To this, senior advocate Kapil Sharma, appearing for the animal welfare body Project Kindness, said, and I'm quoting, this is the first time I heard the Solicitor General saying that laws are in place, but they're not to be followed. There are no shelters. The question is, has the municipal corporation built shelter homes? Now, dogs are picked up. This needs to be argued in depth. Let the suo motu order be stayed, he said. The August 11 order by the other bench came after the court took note of a news report about rising dog bite cases in Delhi, arguing that the order to shift all stray dogs in Delhi NCR cannot be implemented. Mr. Sibbal said, and I'm quoting, this order does not apply because there are no shelter homes. The order says stray dogs must be released. This too does not apply because there are no shelter homes again. The order to pick up stray dogs must also be stayed. Where will they be taken? There are no shelter homes. Fearing that the stray dogs once picked up may be killed, Mr. Sibbal said. They will be kept together, food thrown, and they will attack each other. This is pestilence. This cannot be allowed. Senior advocate Abhishek Manu Singhvi, appearing for one of the petitioners, said, all directions in the August 11 order put cart before the horse. All directions presuppose issues. Available infrastructure is less than a fraction available to accommodate all the dogs. Dog bites are bad, he said, but you cannot create a horror situation like this. The senior advocate added that well meaning orders sometimes go beyond the law. Justice Nath came down heavily on civic authorities and said Parliament frames rules and laws, but they're not implemented. Quote, on one hand, humans are suffering, on the other hand, animal lovers are here, he said. The court has reserved its order. Ever since the abrogation of Article 370 and the bifurcation of former state Jammu and Kashmir in 2019, the appeals to restore the statehood have been repeated by many political parties, particularly from the valley. Though the Supreme Court earlier agreed with them, it heard the matter again today as its previous order has not been implemented. And it said, demands for restoration of Jammu and Kashmir statehood cannot ignore the Pahalgam terror attack and consequent regional security implications. A bench led by Chief Justice of India B.R. Gavai was responding this morning to a petition seeking implementation of a December 2023 Supreme Court order which said Jammu and Kashmir statehood should be restored at the earliest opportunity after the conduct of an assembly election. The election was held in September October 2024. The Omar Abdullah led National Conference, part of the India bloc with the Congress, formed the government after winning 27 of Jammu and Kashmir's 42 seats. Reminder that the United Opposition India bloc, of which Mr. Omar Abdullah's party is a part, is at the central level, not state level. The petition heard today seeks the return of Jammu and Kashmir as a state within 2 months and calls the delay in following the Supreme Court's order a violation of India's federal structure. Senior advocate Gopal Sankar Narayanan urged the court to club and list all such petitions. Quote, if an executor aspect is being sought, then a bench may be constituted and a timeline fixed. Let the government first give a response, Chief Justice replied. Solicitor General Tushar Mehta, appearing for the government, said he would seek instructions as directed, but pointed out, and I'm quoting, we assured statehood after elections, but I don't know why the issue is being agitated now. This is not the time to muddy the waters. Jammu and Kashmir had been bifurcated into union territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh in August of 2019. This was after the government scrapped Article 370 that gave it a special status. Since then, the government has repeatedly said statehood will be restored at an appropriate time, but a timeline was never announced. In 2023, the Supreme Court directed the Election Commission to hold an assembly election, first since 2014, with Jammu Kashmir having been under President's rule since. Recently, Chief Minister Omar Abdullah wrote to all political parties urging them to introduce a bill in the parliament to restore statehood to Jammu and Kashmir. Mr. Abdullah said restoration of statehood was not a favor, but an essential course correction, and that the precedent of downgrading a state would have unsettling consequences. Restoration of statehood was also a core issue during election campaigning, with the Congress, the National Conference, and the others from the India bloc putting pressure on the BJP to keep its promise. But those demands took a backseat after April 22 when terrorists from the Lashkar-e-Toiba affiliated the resistance front killed 26 people after asking questions about their religious identities in Pahalgam's Baisaran Valley. India, which said it had proved the Pakistan army and deep state were involved, responded with Operation Sindoor precision military strikes against terror camps in Pak and Pak occupied Kashmir. That triggered a counter response from Islamabad with an 88-hour military conflict between the two countries that only ended after Pakistan called India to request a ceasefire. Three people, including a senior citizen and an 8-year-old girl, were killed during Independence Day celebrations in Pakistan's Karachi due to reckless aerial firing, while over 60 others sustained gunshot injuries, Geo News reported, citing a rescue official. The incidents occurred across the city, with the young girl hit by a stray bullet in Azizabad and a man named Stephen killed in Porangi. At least 64 others suffered gunshot wounds in the city-wide incidents, Geo News reported. Rescue officials said dozens were injured due to celebratory gunfire. Authorities condemned the practice as reckless and dangerous, urging citizens to mark Independence Day in safer ways. Police have initiated their investigation and assured that strict action will be taken against those found involved in aerial firing. According to a report obtained by RE News, at least 42 people, including 5 women, lost their lives in firing incidents across Karachi in January. Additionally, 233 people, including 5 women, were injured in these incidents. 5 people were killed while thwarting robbery attempts in firing events, which were reported in various regions of the city. In other instances, individuals lost their lives as a result of stray gunshots or aerial fire. However, none of the 7 people who died in the firing incidents, including women, have been named so far. Police officers contributed the episodes to several factors, including disagreements, personal animosities, and resistance to robbery attempts, ARY News reported. Road accidents, robbery resistance, and aerial firing also contributed to a spike in deaths in Karachi earlier in January. According to the Chippa Foundation, 528 people, including children and the elderly, were injured in road accidents, and 36 people died as a result. In addition, robbery resistance injuries resulted in 3 fatalities and 15 injuries. That's all for today. You were listening to the news with NDTV, your daily newspaper and TV bulletin wrapped in a compact podcast. If you want to catch up with the day's events in a hurry, do remember to subscribe to the news with NDTV on Apple, Spotify, and the NDTV News app. This is your host Anviti, signing off.